I want to have John Brakey is here, and he has worked so hard with Audit Arizona because he has seen local corruption in elections. He has understood something was going on. He has demanded evidence. He and a lawyer, Bill Reisner, is Bill here? Okay, that have really had a lot of success in publicizing the hindrances to finding out what Bev got in a data dump. But I'll let you tell the rest of the story, John, and thank you for waiting.
Well, thank you very much. And because, I'd say this, I'm honored to be up front here with these people because they're my mentors, okay? If it wasn't for the work that they've done that I've built on, okay, and I know that at times I've called and been very pesky and asked a lot of dumb questions when people are really busy. And by the way, I love you, Bev, okay, for putting up with me. And because we've uncovered huge things in Arizona, really big problems. I'm just going to go ahead and maybe quickly talk about just this last election. And because it was a strip, it was a flip, okay, as in their book, okay.
So you're talking about the primary election in Arizona?
Yes, I certainly am. The primary election that happened and the gamesmanship that happened there, the voter suppression, that happened. We had 150,000 people in Maricopa County that were suppressed from voting, okay? Or at least we think that they were suppressed at the precincts, but we think there's a good possibility that their ballots were somehow destroyed or gotten rid of because we're right now in Arizona 85% in a very dangerous thing called vote by mail. It's hideous. The games that can be played. I kept wondering, gee, it was easy to prove 150,000 people were blocked just in one county, Maricopa, because all the other counties were up 8, 9, 16%. Maricopa's percentage was down 4%, okay? And so, you don't have to be a mathematician to go ahead and figure out what was going on. When it came to numerous people, just like in your book, went to vote, and they found out that they couldn't vote, and they were forced in voting a provisional. And somehow they went into a motor vehicle or called, and the next thing you know, they supposedly a glitch. It's that word that they use all the time when they steal. Oh, that's just a little glitch, but there's not enough to steal an election. When the reality is that these people, distinguished people in this panel, have taught me that they just don't steal one way. Okay, it's a little here, it's a little there, and if you're not careful, you're not going to find it. It is done, and it's tailored state by state. Now, I know my state of Arizona, and I know that ballots are not a public record, okay, and they can get away with it. I want you to know that I was in one case with my attorney for 9 years, and we never got to the ballots, and for 5 years, we paid storage for those ballots, okay? We went through the appellate process into the Arizona Supreme Court twice. First time, we won, sent back to the courts. The system was set up. They listened to us for 8 months and then threw the case out on the same reasoning. This is happening all over. But I don't want to be just stand up here and tell you negative stories. I want to talk about hope in the change because I recognize that maybe we've crossed the Rubicon, okay? Because people are calling it by the right name. They used to call this thing voter fraud. You people, voter fraud. We know it's election fraud, okay? And election fraud is not going to be a lot of people. My God, this system was designed to cheat. That is what she has proven. That's what they have proven in Ohio, and that's what we're proving in Arizona and other states. And and that's why I'm a very big supporter of these people up here and what they've done and what they have all taught me. Thank you all. I mean, hey, she gave me Jim March. Yes. My God, Jim March. It takes a geek to understand the Greek language of elections. Okay? That's what I learned. And then what I'm seeing, because of the change that's happening, because we are beyond the Rubicon, we are in a situation because of the work that these people in Ohio did, the work, Greg Palast, I love you. Thank you, okay? And thank you for putting up all the years with me, calling or working with your staff or whatever. It's giving us the knowledge to be able to deal with this and say, I am a conspiracy factualist. I deal in facts, okay? The system was built to cheat. And you know, the other thing that I see in the change that's happening that is so important is that when you can get presidential candidates to come to events and stand up and talk about the fact that election fraud is real, that they get on, that even though they're limited on network and timing or whatever, is that that they're here. And we have one person here that I'd like to stand up. Okay, Rocky, if you could please. He's a presidential candidate from your own state who qualified on 46 states, and he's out there and he's talking about election fraud, and that means we're getting this thing put out. And to have this ability to be able to go ahead and get people to recognize this is very important. And I just want to say to my fellow panelists, I'm honored to be up here with all of you. And I thank you for the knowledge that you've helped me with and learned. And I continually will be doing this the rest of my life until we make voting the way you talked about it in the beginning of this meeting. And I thank you all.
Great.
Thank you. Switch me back. Thank you much. Okay, so we have had the panelists, and